Well, hello there everybody, my name is Northern Princess. Welcome to another route learning video here on the channel. As I promised in the last route learning video, we're going to cover the Northern Lines route heading back in the opposite direction, this time from Blackpool North through to Preston. Today we'll be driving Class 150-1 on train 2 Juliet 44, the Blackpool North to Manchester service. In the cab with Class 150, what I'm going to do is quickly prepare the cab, reverse it and go forward. So reverse it, masking on, reverse to neutral, sorry. I'll now open the doors. Checking the line ahead of us, we've got a green aspect, so I can move to the DRA. I'm now going to turn off the tail lamps, turn on the marker light and the instrument light, and turn the headlights onto the right hand side, which is the correct indication for daytime running. Okay, reverser can now go forward, brakes can come off, and we're off. So our starting speed limit on departure from Blackpool North is 15 miles per hour. So we'll get up to pace and then whilst we're coasting I'll do a quick cab tour. So, yes, in today's video we'll be calling at Leighton, Portland-le-Fylde, Kirkham-Wesham and Preston. Idle. Okay, so left to right, quick controls on the Class 150. Nothing that we can control up there. Got the fan, which unfortunately doesn't work. I will actually open both windows, just to improve the sound for us a little. Got the DRA controls, the door controls, which are guard control, engine start-stop, windscreen wipers, the train brake, which is 3-step brake, step 1, 2, 4, service and emergency. ABS reset switch, 2-tone horn, controlled by spacebar and the B key. 8-step throttle, master key, 4-step reverser, sander and AC controls. Oh no, the fan does work, cool. Then I've also got the light switches up here which are fairly self-explanatory. Just cruising past Blackpool depot here. Actually, leave the window open, why not? Let's go 1553 in. I've based this scenario around the era where it was sort of just pre-electrification on the line. There's a lot more sort of refurbished stock than not refurbished, but you will still see the occasional unrefurbished, which is the same as you'd see in sort of traffic today. There we go, and there's another 156 on the depot. Anyway, that's about time that we can go full power now. Really give it the beans. Although the speed limit has increased to 70 miles an hour, there's absolutely no point in accelerating to that pace as it's less than 2 miles between Blackpool North and Leighton Station, sorry. So you can see the station there. I'm going to get up to 40 and then coast. As you can see, acceleration on these units isn't exactly the strongest point. Use step 1 just to gently breathe the speed back to 30. Maybe even 25. Step 2 now. Just brake in step 2. We want to stop roughly in the area of the overbridge. I do love this design of pedestrian footbridge. I don't know why it's flickering as well. I assume it's something to do with my anti-aliasing. I'm fairly happy with where I stopped there. The door's closed and let's get going. So our line speed is now 70 miles an hour. It's a little over a mile, sorry, between Blackpool and Leighton. Another 2 miles until Portney Field, which is our next station stop. It is amazing how different the route feels. Even though I know it's the same route that we've been on the entire time. Just driving a very different train on it. About the same era really as the 319, but just a very, very different train. And the route before it was remodelled, I suppose. The most noticeable changes are Blackpool North and Kirkham Washam. The only station we're not stopping at today is Solwick. That station only receives 2 services a day anyway, and it means that my brain can't brain at the moment. But yeah, basically it's Solwick only receives 2 services a day, so it would be a very specific service to actually call that. Basically 1 in the like 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, so nothing too spectacular. Okay, I'm going to brake at this level crossing, go straight into step 2. Step 2. Yeah, the 35 is actually just after that signal there. Unfortunately, the warning board is quite early. I do prefer just to get slowed down a little sooner. I'm actually going to go down to 30. Just due to the way train sim works, I'm going to be using the zoom control because, for me personally, I'm on a 32-inch, no, 60, I'm not sure, I'd say about a 30-inch screen, which does mean that, things like that house completely, I can't make that out. But realistically, in the real world, I could go, what's that? And I could make it out a lot better. So we've got a 20 limit coming into force soon. Gently in step 1 come down towards 20 to 30, and then we'll just go the last little lump in step 2. This area does feel really nice and quaint. You've got the 20 due to... The 20 is actually one of the tiny little invisible speed posts, and it's that one there. That's one you really can't roll up to and go read it and go, oh crap, and slow down. But the 20 limit only applies for when we're going over the points. It only applies to us going in this direction, surprisingly. It's interesting, it had an arrow over it indicating it would only apply if you were diverging left, whereas that quite abundantly clearly isn't the case. But hey. Welcome to Portney Field. We've got a 50 limit, which we just passed, which comes into force depart in the station. It does then go quite quickly up to a 75. Welcome to Portney Field. Yeah, we're doing the capture. The 151s, it's a unit I strangely like driving. Oh, that's cool. Includes the NRN details for contacting GWR servicing. Romford. Interesting. I'm trying to think when these units would ever go into the Romford area. Romford's east of London. Great Western, generally their purview is west of London. I mean, I know they have a train that goes to Gatwick Airport and one that goes to Brighton, but still. Okay, I'm going to go up in a full power now, accelerating towards 50. We do have a 70 board coming into force fairly rapidly, so keep my eyes out for that. It's a really nice driving position to drive to her actually. There's a 70 board, circling out, up towards the 70. All you heard there was the RPM drop and change. That is due to the gearbox changing modes. I will be doing a more in-depth video on the Class 150 in the future. Sort of a meet the fleet style video, but yeah. As mentioned on next stop, that's Portney filed. Just about 6 miles, I believe, from Portney filed. Sorry, Kirkham Wesham our next stop. 6 miles from Portney filed. 6.8 if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, I'm doing this all from memory because I made notes on the route, but my laptop's turned itself off and I've lost all the notes. But I'm fairly confident in my ability to drive it, just not give accurate distance representations. I mean, yeah, it was about 600 miles. You got Preston. Just a nice long drag. And then it's not just 2 to 3 of power to maintain 70 miles an hour. Now that we're up at speed, I'm going to just shut the windows. Just makes it a more pleasant driving environment. We've also got the data cord information over there, which is, I believe, the black box system, effectively for trains. We then got the door controls, cab light controls. Didn't realise that was on the back wall. And then all the details on for the things that the saloon lighting. Kind of about to try and get a bit ahead of itself there. I'm trying to bleed the speed back to 70 miles an hour, but that was entirely my fault. I'm going to go step 2 of power just to keep us in vaguely the right place. Anyway, after I complete this video, I'm going to be going shopping, but that's something you guys probably won't have an interest in. And hopefully you guys are having a great day, as I mentioned. If you're not, I'm sorry to hear that, but hopefully this video can help out with that. As mentioned, route learning videos is something I do want to bring back. It's going to be a matter of making sure I've got the time to commit the energy to it, because these videos, you know, I've got to. If you think an average train sim video, press play, waffle on a bit whilst I'm driving. This, I've got to drive it on at least one occasion previously to get screenshots and all that kind of good stuff, and to learn the route. And then there was one video in particular on my old channel, which was a route learning video from Waterloo, right the way down to Portsmouth Harbour. And that video, I think I was on about 13 takes by the time I finished it. That was like a day to record one video. The video's only like 45 minutes long anyway. The 151 coming the other way. Hello. I'm going to go up in a notch 3 a little bit, just to give us a bit more energy. Yeah, I'm hoping to be covering the Kyle-Lacalche line next. It's an old route, but I think it's one that its drawbacks, it's long and slow, effectively. Apart from that, it's actually a very good route. And now that we've got a decent 37, some decent Mark 1, I want to have a look at doing it. There we go. Okay, so at the overbridge, we're going to be braking for 30 for a crossover to enter Kirkham Wesham station. You'll see, this is, as I say, this is based just before the closure. You can see that they've already started making changes to the down fast line through Kirkham Wesham. in step 2 of brake, just letting the speed come off. Nice and gently. Got the 30 limit. So just, you can see we've got the green light with the feather. Because difference of more than 10 miles an hour, then it would indicate a yellow aspect. It's a very respectable pace to approach at. You can see the line straight ahead is technically at a 40. That's very cool. It's actually properly blocked the line off. I didn't notice that in my first pass. But you can see the line over there it's a clutter on it, so you definitely can't drive a train over that. It's as they were starting to remodel this estate. Sorry about the sniffling noises, guys. I've got the plague. 35 is enough for us to keep time for our approach into Kirkman washing station. I've sort of entered the station about 20 miles an hour just so I can stop quite early on, just because that's the only exit from the station. Gently slow down in step 2 now. I go to step 3 for a moment, then back to step 2, then off. I definitely do enjoy driving this route though. Something about it. Okay, we're now going back up towards 75 miles an hour. Well, 75 miles an hour is now our higher line speed limit. So I'm just going to use notch 3 of power to go to 15, and then from there, I'm just going to go full power. As a point of interest, though, I actually selected a higher rev amount, if that's even English, than I wanted at the start there. But you'll notice the train didn't actually pull away until I actually reduced the revs back down. That's because the Class 150 uses a hydraulic gearbox. So at lower speed, there's about a 4-second delay if you're going from idle to into power, because the hydraulic gearbox has to be filled with oil, and that takes about 4 seconds. Thanks for that. Use a bit of information later. Let's put the flow to low. Get a bit of comfort in the cab now that we're motoring. So as previously mentioned, our next station now is going to be Preston. And we will be running fast past Solwig Station, which is the next station on the route. A nice extra jointed track here. Oh, jointed tracks are gone. So we're now in notch 8 of power. Full power up to 75 now. 75 across, of course, the maximum permitted speed for a Sprint series unit. Sorry about the sniffles, guys. Unfortunately, don't have a toggle mute for my microphone. The route, as I say, does feel incredibly different. I I think a lot of it is down to the foliage as well, because obviously the version 2 takes advantage of the VP tree pack and VP grass pack, which hasn't been made available, or wasn't included, should I say, in this route. I'm not sure whether Tom's going to go back and fix this route. I'd imagine not, but it would be nice though, right? This is the Solwick station we're passing now. We are blowing through station at speed. I'll give a quick warning horn. Is there any passengers on the station? Stand well back from the edge. And it'll warn the people on this foot crossing as well. I believe that's an industrial spur over there, I'm not too sure though. Obviously now defuncted, but still. Which 3 is doing a nice job holding us at the 75. I do definitely enjoy this run. So it's the second time I've done it today and I still enjoy it. So, yeah, that it definitely shows that the route's been done well, and so is the train. One of the things I did forget to mention is you do have to drive the guard button. Warp speed. Okay. Obviously, a former driver's had a sense of humour when they've been driving this thing. I'm not sure what that switch would actually do. Or is it, I wonder if it's that, or if it's a reference to the handling characteristics this thing had at release. At release, this thing had the handling characteristics of a rocket ship, which is a bit less than ideal. That's cool. I remember seeing that van going the other way, except there's 2 vans parked there now, and it's the modern transit, not the older one. It's quite a nice little touch, modernising the route. I'm a bit ahead of myself here. There we go. Just coasted down at about 72, 73. Another 156. That one's an X Northern. Ooh, 2 of them an X Northern together. That would be a rare sight at this point. Yeah, I think we're now going to be... Well, yeah, we are now on the approaches to Preston. So I'm going to perk up from my seat a bit. Okay. $35 on the commander force. Please do things brake handle. Go. I'm going to step 2 down to 35. I'm actually going to go step 3 for a little bit just because I lost that brake pressure at the start. There we go. Yeah, I'm confident now. Just didn't really lose speed in step 1 brake. The 3-step brake system, I think, as a person, is a massive advancement on what they had at this point in the past, which was you'd apply the brake, then lap it to hold that brake pressure in, so you could technically get a much more precise brake application. But it's also a pain in the behind to get it to apply. If that makes sense. There you go. There's our 35 speed. I do know when we start going down in a very steep downhill section here. So I'm going to, yeah. So we don't really need any power anymore, we can just coast it the rest of the way into Blackpool. Okay, well I hope you did enjoy today's video, guys. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. Also going to Preston, not Blackpool. So don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to see more from me on a semi-regular basis. I'm aiming for 1 or 2 videos a week at the moment. And yeah, drop me a comment with any routes you'd like to see me do in the future. I'm still looking for ideas for route learning. I'm sticking to UK stuff because that's my comfort zone for train driving. American stuff's going to come soon, but a lot of the American stuff seems to have missing speed boards, and I can't comprehend how you'd know. Just yeah, but yeah. So I say, let me know what you'd like to see me do in the future. I might actually be doing the West Coast Mainline branch lines. I was thinking about it last night of either doing the Windermere branch next. But we'll talk about that more in the future. Anyway, guys, what I'll do as well is I'm going to include a link to my Facebook page in the description below. Drop me a message on there as well, and I'll probably set up a poll to run with sort of route ideas for route learners in the future. There's a wonderful looking Class 1 558. Awesome. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Once again, we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.